And this morning on Summer Spotlight, listen up parents and guardians who still have students in school. As of July 1st, several bills passed becoming law in Indiana, and one affects your kids and how schools handle bullying. And I really wanted to highlight a conversation I had on Summer Spotlight back in May with child and parent advocates from Elkhart Community Schools. Then we talked about the work that parents are doing behind the scenes, really advocating for their kids locally and up on that state level. So back with me this morning, we've got Rachel Van Alstine and Leatra Scott to help continue that conversation. It's so nice to have you guys back with me.
It's great to be back. Thank you.
And this week, we're kind of getting more on the specifics of what you guys do. Could we touch on that recently passed Bill 1483? And really, in simple terms, what does this law do?
Yeah, so we were able to request an amendment of the bill. So this is an anti-bullying bill that House Representative Vernon Smith out of Gary, Indiana authored. And we advocated to amend that bill to include our language, which specifies that school must document bullying and abusive behavior of victims. So really, that's the teeth of the bill. Because prior to this bill, your child could be bullied or abused at school and there'd be no documentation of it. So effective July 1st, the schools now must track what happens to your children.
And when you say track, that's kind of do they need to reach out to parents initially? Is it just kind of withheld in that school system? How does that work?
Right, so this bill actually requires that they have to notify parents within 5 business days of an incident. One thing that we're pushing for ongoing for this next legislative session is that this data would actually be going to a third party, because as it stands, even though now the bill requires the tracking, it stays in district. And so these numbers of what is truly happening to our children within our public schools is not going anywhere out of the district. And so we're really pushing for that ongoing.
And how do you guys feel? Because I feel like I could answer this for myself from what you just said, but having that extra eyes and ears from someone outside the district, outside of the families, what's the importance of that?
It's checks and balances, it's accountability, because as it stands, there are none. When you go to a local district, say you are having a bullying issue with your child, you go to your local district, there's nothing beyond that local district. You contact IDOE, DCS, legislators, and they will point you right back to your district. So there are no checks and balances as it stands even today.
And really, we keep touching on this. We want the kids to be able to go to school and be safe. What's the importance of having an amendment like this in words that our parents even understand?
Well, I mean, the importance of this amendment is, well, we all know if it's not documented, it didn't happen. So at the end of the day, now that everything needs to be documented and reported to the parents, now we can actually identify those students that will be having those issues, and we know why they have those issues. And now once we identify who is being bullied, who is bullying, who is at risk, of these actions, then we can actually treat those students properly. So I think that this is monumental, it's huge win, for students, for child safety, because now we can, like I said, identify it, their parents can be mindful of what's going on, and we can properly heal these children.
And for you guys as parents with your own kids, really, what do you think the benefit is for you guys in sending your kids knowing that this is now in effect for this next school year?
Relief.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a huge project, of course, because teachers, administration have a huge job as it is. But to know that we now have something in place where we have some record of what's going on, it's just relief for me. I'm excited to know that everyone is all hands on deck to make sure our children are safe.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that things are moving forward. Thank you guys for the work that you are doing from the state, the local level, all things in between. And I love that we can have these conversations with real parents in our community. So again, thank you, Rachel and Leatra, for coming in this morning. And the conversation's not over yet, Michiana. You got to get used to these two here at the desk, okay? I'm hoping to have them back in soon so we can talk more about their expansion with their network and going back to school events here this fall as that 2023-2024 school year is getting closer and closer. Yeah, me either. I'm still on summer mode. Hey, but for now, you can stay up to date on all things bullying prevention and mental health from ECS parents, just like these two. You can follow their journey right on their Facebook page.